Good morning. Happy Wednesday hump day. April 8th. I have decided to start saying the date each day because a lot of times we lose track of time anyway, much less in the current situation. Another thing I started doing was at the beginning of the year, I got a full year calendar and put it on the wall and started marking off the days because not sure what the phenomenon is, but it seems like when you get older, the time goes by faster. You know, I always hear people say, you know, when their kids graduate or they have a birthday or something comes up, you know, where'd the time go? You know, another year's gone by. And I think one of the thoughts behind that is, you know, when you're a kid, you don't pay close attention to time. And there's always something that has you excited. You know, you're excited. You look forward to your birthday. You look forward to, you know, holidays, Easter, Christmas, whatever they are. And I think we lose that as adults. So I'm trying to be purposely more conscious of time, knowing that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes in an hour, blah, blah, blah. So be aware. And so that's what I started doing. Being in the moment, more present in this moment, because I think we just let time slip away. But anyway, that's a little bit off topic. I'm coming to you again for use on the podcast. You can't see what everybody's seeing on the video, obviously. Changed position a little bit, got my setup a little bit done to where I can do it quicker. Getting the video out a little bit earlier. It's just after 9. Decided to have my cup of tea with you this morning. Normally I have my tea and then go over my thoughts a little bit, but got started a little bit late. I missed my first alarm this morning. That's because I went to bed late. And the reason for that is, which I want to share with you today, is, you know, how life works. The phrase, the law of attraction, has gotten some good and bad publicity. I think the law of attraction is one way to put it. I've decided to just break it down fundamentally to one word, and that's life. I'll still refer every now and then to God, source, the universe, but the main word I'll use for that as well is life, because that's where God created life. The universe is life. Source provided life. Law of attraction, that's the laws of life, right? I mean, that's how life works. And again, keep in mind, this is Ron's choice. It's all perception, relative to the observer, but I won't go into deep that. All I'm going to do is share my stories, how I see this, how I see it works. You try to apply it to your life. And in my opinion, this is how it works. If you want something to work, you find out how it works. If you don't want it to work, you find out how it doesn't work. So you can either try to disprove what I'm saying or try to prove it to yourself. That's basically, in my opinion, how life works. That's life. That's how the mind works. You know, the saying that came from Henry Ford, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Or if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. Whatever. There's many different versions of it. But it's just all what you believe. So, and for me, what it came down to was results. What are the results I'm wanting? Am I wanting to question everything? I want to find what works. So I try to look for what works for me. And as I have shared this with other people, I see how it works for them. And then when they don't apply it, I see how they get what they get because they're not applying it. So, anyway, here's the story. Here's the little analogy. And I try not to go too deep because you can overanalyze stuff. I believe that shit happens. And when I first started on this journey, I tried to remove that phrase from my vocabulary, from my thoughts, because I figured, well, okay, if I say shit happens, then I'm expecting shit to happen. And to be a little bit more politically correct, I just said life happens. And I do believe that some things just happen randomly. Now, you know, there's people that say everything happens for a reason. And there's two mindsets on that, basically. You have one that everybody believes that God's in control. God is, and sometimes the way I see it is that, you know, we're chess pieces on a chessboard and God's playing it. We have no control. And the other is that your thoughts, your feelings, your energy dictates what happens to you. Now, how I grappled with that is that I am that I am. God created us in his image. Knock and ye shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. Ask and ye shall receive. You're a part of me. So I believe that we are God. We are a piece of that. So we are the ones that are in control of that. So when you rephrase it a little bit, God's in control. Yes, because you are a God. You are part of God. You are part of the source that creates worlds. So that's how I justify that in myself. So as I tell you the story, there may be a deeper meaning, there might be another reason, but whatever. So my dryer quit, and I'm gonna give you the full story because I feel that it's relative. I believe that it's been scientifically proven that our thoughts are frequencies. Our thoughts are energy, which is vibration, which creates things. Since I've been on my journey, I've realized that, and this comes from many different stories, I have a lot of old stuff that still functions very well. Part of it is I do take care of myself, my stuff. Part of it is just my energy. And not to... And when I make comparisons, I'm not... again, you have to remember, I have to remind you, for me, there is no right or wrong. How you do what you do is how you do it. And that's your journey, and that's how you're getting to where you go. The only time there's a right or wrong is when you're trying to accomplish something, you want a specific result, which requires specific steps. In that instance, there is a right and a wrong for you. But overall, in life, there is no right or wrong. For what I do for me is the way I do it. So I'm going to use my youngest daughters as an example. And she follows. We have some deep discussions. For the most part, she understands what I say, but she always diverts back to to borrow a phrase, thinking sometimes. And that's an energy. There's people that they say they're snake bitten or Murphy's Law, or it's an energy. It's an energy, it's a thought, it's a feeling, it's coming from the subconscious. So, like, she'll ask to use my truck. My truck's older. It's got over 200,000 miles on it. It's 2001. It has some problems, but it runs great for me. So, in this analogy, I got this from Wayne Dyer. My energy helps my truck run. And I feel like if someone else was to use it, that things would start going wrong with it. And here's a perfect example. Now, my dryer in the house, I'm going to say it's at least 15 years old, or I've had it for 15 years. I bought it used. It seems like it's the only dryer I've had since I've been in this house, and I've been here for 20 years. I replaced the heating element in it, I believe, once, many years ago. So a couple of weeks ago, my daughter was over here doing laundry, and she texts me and says the dryer's not working. Now, again, it's old. It's not her fault. The belt broke. I'm like, what, whatever. So I got a new belt, put the belt on, works fine, did laundry. A couple weeks later, she's over here again doing laundry. And the timer, so I don't know if it's the timer because I know that controls the heating element, but it just sat there. The timer wouldn't tick down, and the heating, it's not heating. So again, I know it's not her fault. I know she didn't do anything wrong, but it was working just fine 2 times. Once is a coincidence. I don't know how that saying goes, but twice, 3 times, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, whatever. So, of course I'm sitting here, okay, do I, because I could fix it if I needed to, but that requires me tearing it apart, and watching YouTube videos if I have to try and figure it out and blah, blah, blah. Or do I go find a new one or go find a used one? And I did a little bit of research, and then I said, you know what, I'm just gonna let that marinate for a little bit. I put it out there. I need a dryer. And I thought once I told Veronica, she might know somebody, whatever. So yesterday I'm talking to my buddy, and I just mentioned, yeah, I got to fix my dryer. And he goes, oh, well, I have an extra one. Short story is he had a spare one that they were looking to do something with. I go over and pick it up. And now, whether this was foreshadowing or not, I don't know. Now, here's the point. There's several points in here. Veronica's energy, in my opinion, had something to do with allowing the dryer to be weak. My energy found, with very little effort, found a dryer at no cost to me. Last night, before I left my buddy's house, there was a lizard on the top of my truck, and I saw him, and I said, buddy, you better get off of there. You're going for a long ride, because it was over in Tampa. I don't know, maybe 20 miles away. Didn't really think much of it beyond that. I get home, I get the dryer in the house. Now this is 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. Plug it in. Well, I had to put the power cord on the back, plug it in to see if it's going to work. Run it for a few minutes, open the door. It's hot. The light comes on. And then I hear this noise. It sounds like electrical sparks, And then I start smelling something. I'm like, man, do I need to unplug this thing? Well, what happened, I believe, is the lizard got stuck back there by the heating element. Now it smells. At this point, I'm running it and trying to burn it off, because I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know if it's that lizard or something, because the dryer had been sitting for a while, so other stuff could have crawled up in there. So my point there is, I'm not going to beat myself up and say, why did that happen? Okay, I tracked the dryer, I got the dryer. Why is it now that I'm having to deal with this? I don't know. That's, it's something I can't change. Going forward, maybe I put the thought out, I want a dryer that works and I have no issues with. I don't know. Maybe I didn't set that pure intention. because we are in a world with other people, other animals, other things, and other things that have their thoughts and their frequencies. We have to interact with them. Now, at this point, I'm running the dryer, using Febreze. I'm putting a lot of fabric fresheners in there. I've got some clothes I was going to donate to Goodwill. I'm running those through there until I can get the smell out. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, at this point, I'm just keeping the mindset that the smell is going to go away and it's going to be fine. It's going to work great. And then I will have that dryer for many years to come. In recap, your energy, what it comes down to, your thoughts, your energies, create your world. It's scientifically proven. It's, you know, it's like it's like having faith. I just have faith that something's going to happen. I just believe. And that's basically how it works, but it has to be at a cellular level. You have to be completely convinced that it's going to work, and you have to expect it. And when you don't, it's like I hear people say oftentimes, "Why I'm so grateful for this," but, well, I'm grateful attracts more of what you're grateful for. And then when you say "but," it puts the brakes on. Don't throw the "but" in there. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you're grateful for. Because what you focus on is that puts your body into a vibration, into a frequency. It can affect your body physically, and it can affect your outside world. That's what creates your world. I'm going to leave it there. That has given me an idea for tomorrow. I think I already said I was going to talk about that. Parallel universes. The world is a stage. I'll share my thoughts on that for tomorrow. That'll be 4/9/20. Okay. I have to keep notes. I think of stuff all the time, and then I forget about them because stuff comes up. You know, there are things in life that are gonna grab your attention, that are gonna require your attention. Sometimes it screams for your attention, like a dryer going out. Can't do my laundry. Well, I could. Then I have to hang my clothes out. Blah blah blah. Or you get a dryer and a lizard crawls in it. That's why I have to keep notes, because stuff does come up as much as we try to stay in control. That was the other thing I wanted to point out is routines. Controlled chaos, because there is a slight bit of chaos in the world, so you have to find as much you control. So I've tried to have routines in the morning and routines in the evening, and then just, you know, schedule my day, but be prepared for whatever happens. Love you guys. Be strong.